What if I told you the story of the Lion King? The one we all know and love is missing a huge piece of the puzzle. What if Mufasa and Scar weren't the only sons of King Hidde? Get ready, because we're diving deep into the Pride Lands to uncover the story of the lost king, the forgotten brother who was destined for greatness before he vanished without a trace. This isn't just some fan theory. This is a tale pieced together from forgotten lore, a story of betrayal, exile, and a return that could shatter the very foundation of the circle of life. His name was King, meaning leader in Swahili, and he was the firstborn son of King Hidde and Queen Uru. He was strong, wise, and kind, everything a future king should be. Mufasa looked up to him, and even a young, resentful Taka, who'd later become Scar, held a secret respect for his older brother. Kiongozi was the hope of the Pride Lands, destined to rule with a just and powerful paw. So, where did he go? Why have we never heard of him? The story begins on a dark and stormy night, a night that would change the course of history forever. A territorial dispute with a rogue pride of lions on the border of the Pride Lands turned violent. King Hidde, ever the protector, led the charge, with his eldest son, Kiongozi, fighting bravely by his side. But this was no ordinary skirmish. It was an ambush, a setup. The rogue lions were fiercer, more numerous than expected. In the chaos of the battle, as lightning tore across the sky, Kiongozi was cornered, overwhelmed, and dragged away into the shadows, believed by all to have been lost to the unforgiving wild. King Hidde was devastated. Queen Uru's heart was broken. The Pride Lands mourned the loss of their future king. In the wake of this tragedy, the line of succession shifted. Mufasa, once the second son, was now the heir. Taka, already feeling like an outcast, fell deeper into the shadows of jealousy, his resentment towards Mufasa growing with each passing day. The absence of Kiongozi created a power vacuum and a wound in the royal family that would fester and eventually lead to the dark events we all know. Mufasa's reign, Scar's, betrayal, Simba's exile. It all stems back to that one fateful night. The Pride Lands had lost their true leader, and the balance was thrown into disarray. But what if Kiongozi didn't die? What if he survived? The truth is, he was taken, not killed. The leader of the rogue pride, a cunning and cruel lion named Zumaridi, saw the strength in the young prince. Instead of finishing him, Zumaridi took him captive, hoping to use him as a bargaining chip. But Kiongozi was too proud, too noble to be a pawn. He refused to cooperate, so Zumaridi exiled him, casting him out into the barren outlands, a place where no lion was meant to survive alone. For years, Kiongozi fought for his life. He learned to hunt in the dust, to find water where there was none, to fight hyenas and other scavengers. For every scrap, he grew stronger, harder, his golden coat scarred and his mane tangled, but his royal spirit never broke. He held on to one thing, the memory of his home, his family, and his duty. He wasn't entirely alone though. In his exile, Kiongozi found an unlikely ally, a wise old mandrill named Makini, a hermit who had been cast out from her own troop. She recognized the look of a king in his eyes, even beneath the dirt and scars. She taught him about the stars, the history of the great kings of the past, and reminded him of who he was. She healed his wounds, both physical and spiritual, and became the guide he so desperately needed. She was his Rafiki, a beacon of hope in the desolate landscape. It was Makini who finally convinced him that his journey wasn't over. The Pride Lands needed their true leader. It was time to go home. Now, imagine this. Years have passed. Scar has been defeated, and Simba now rules the Pride Lands with Nala by his side. The kingdom is healing, but the scars of the past run deep. One morning, as the sun rises over Pride Rock, a figure is seen approaching from the edge of the savannah. He is a massive lion, larger than Mufasa was, his golden fur weathered by time and hardship, a deep scar running over one eye. He walks with a quiet confidence, an authority that makes every animal stop and stare. Zazu is the first to intercept him, squawking about trespassing. But as the lion lifts his head, Zazu falls silent. In his eyes, he sees the wisdom of a Hidde, the strength of Mufasa, and a fire all his own. When Simba confronts this stranger, he's prepared for a fight. But the old lion doesn't want to fight. He simply looks at Simba, a sad smile on his face, and says a name that hasn't been spoken in years. Taka. He tells a story of two young brothers, one who always followed him on adventures, and another who watched from the shadows. Simba is confused, but Rafiki, watching from atop Pride Rock, knows. He hurries down, his staff thumping on the ground. He approaches the stranger, studies his face, and then he bows his head. "Kiongozi," he whispers, "you have returned." The revelation sends shockwaves through the Pride Lands. Simba has an uncle he never knew existed, the rightful heir to the throne. The firstborn son is alive. The Pride Elders who remember the young prince are overjoyed, but also fearful. What does this mean for Simba's rule? Does Kiongozi want a throne? Nala is wary, protective of her mate and the stability of their kingdom. Timon and Pumbaa, of course, are just completely bewildered by the whole family drama. But Kiongozi has no desire to challenge Simba. His long exile taught him humility and wisdom. He sees in Simba the heart of a true king, the legacy of his beloved brother Mufasa. He didn't return to claim a crown. He returned to heal a family and restore the balance he was sworn to protect. Kiongozi becomes Simba's most trusted advisor. His knowledge of the Outlands and the threats that lie beyond the borders is invaluable. He helps Simba forge new alliances and strengthen the Pride Land's defenses. He shares stories of Mufasa as a young lion, giving Simba a connection to his father that he never had. He even reaches out to the hyenas, not with force, but with an offer of a new way, a true circle of life where every creature has a place, something Scar's tyrannical rule could never achieve. He carries the weight of the past, but uses it to build a stronger future. He becomes the guardian of the Pride Lands, the silent king who rules from the shadows, ensuring the peace that was stolen from him so long ago. His presence changes everything. He mentors Kovu, helping to bridge the gap between the Pridelanders and the outsiders. He teaches Kiara that strength comes not just from a roar, but from compassion and understanding. He is the missing piece that finally makes the royal family whole again. The story of Kiongozi isn't one of reclaiming power. It's a story of sacrifice, resilience, and the enduring strength of family. He is the lost king who found his way home, not to rule, but to serve, proving that a true leader's legacy is defined not by the throne he sits on, but by the peace and prosperity he brings to his kingdom. The circle of life is finally complete. So what do you think? Does this hidden brother change how you see the story of the Lion King? It adds a whole new layer of depth to the family tragedy and makes the final triumph even more meaningful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love diving into the hidden corners of your favorite stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an adventure. Thanks for watching.